What's going on, y'all? I want to just come on and encourage you guys real quick, as well as me encouraging myself. Find a way to get your drive back, your motivation back. Find what you used to love. Find what you're passionate about. Overall, what am I saying? Find your purpose. Find your purpose. A lot of us struggle with fulfillment in many areas of our lives. Or a lot of us could be chasing one specific thing. We may be chasing relationships. We may be chasing money. We may be chasing whatever the case may be. Sexual fulfillment, I don't know. Validation. But what I can encourage you to do is find your purpose. You become a better person when you're operating in your purpose. You become more aware of yourself, the good and the bad, and of other things, the good and the bad, and other people, the good and the bad, when you're operating in your purpose. When you're operating in your purpose, you're not just out here, just blowing with the wind. When we are not operating in our purpose, it allows for the enemy to seep in, to keep us further distracted, from our purpose. It allows for the enemy to play mind games, play emotional games. And here's the biggest one. He'll begin to play spiritual games, because you'll begin to believe things that actually you shouldn't be believing, especially if you have a relationship with God. Find your purpose. And if you don't know what it is, start to figure it out. Okay, you say, Jennifer, what's one way I can figure out what my purpose is? Not all the time. I'm just going to give a few tips. Not all the time, but most of the time our purpose is linked to something we struggle with or have struggled with. My purpose is twofold in a sense, but it all boils down to one thing, if you will, and that's being a servant, helping people by way of, I've worked in the mental health field, I've worked in the social service field, foster care, obviously suicide, addiction, all of that has to do with helping people. Yes, it can be draining. Yes, it's hard to hear the stories. Yes, it's hard to see people struggling. But guess what? I get fulfillment from knowing that I am doing my part to be of a help. I just sometimes think back, and I'm not even exaggerating. If I've been doing this for 15, 17 years or so, because I first started working as a director with children. I was 17 years old when I became a director. But I was already working with the children, but then I became the director over the program at 17. So I've always been in the purpose of helping. So I think about how many lives I've touched. Thousands. And that makes me feel good about what I do. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me also making sure that I'm where I need to be. I don't think that I'm better than these people because it appears I have the answer. Of course, educationally, spiritually, my knowledge, the history. Of course, I have a level of knowledge of that they may feel they don't have. But just my ability to help keeps me grounded. It keeps me before God. God, don't let me take advantage of the wisdom that I have. Don't ever let me get so haughty because I feel like I know and people don't. And why is everybody struggling? Because sometimes we can give a lot of knowledge to people and it'll come off as we're trying to tell people that, yeah, we got the answer if you just do this and if you just do that. But we have to be humble. We have to have empathy, right? But that's my purpose. My purpose allows me to keep myself in check as well as be of a help. A lot of times people are just out here. I had preached a sermon years ago and I talked about the difference between living and existing. Y'all have to forgive me. I'm walking through this like ranch style area and it has some rocks. So hopefully it's not too loud. Maybe I should kind of walk a little bit towards the grass area. But I talked about the difference between living and existing. Y'all, we don't realize we will look up and we'll be in our late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And we thinking, where has life gone? What has life afforded me? What have I done with myself? Am I still where I was? And see, the trick of the enemy will make you think, well, I'm not as bad as I used to be, but you know you're not where you should be. Get into that purpose. If your career is your purpose, maximize that. But don't make a job your purpose when you know that there's more inside of you. Find a way to work that job, but find your purpose, whether that's starting a business, writing a book, creating some sort of a product, getting online to help people, going volunteering somewhere, whatever that may be. Find a way to get into your purpose. Don't allow your purpose just to become, well, I guess I'm working at this job. What else am I going to do? Don't just settle for the job. Don't settle for that amount of pay. Go back to school, learn a trade, partner up with somebody, do something. Somebody else may already be starting something and you may say, oh, I could add to that. It may be somebody that you may be going to a gym and you may have what is that? Your trainer, but you might do well with food. And you may say, hey, let's set up a business meeting. I want to talk to you about the kind of food I cook. Or you might be a person that you have wisdom to speak to help people. And you don't realize you could partner up with that trainer and say, hey, after you train people, let's set up a business meeting. I want to present something to you. Maybe after you train people, maybe we could do some sort of a package deal. But don't just find yourself settling. Oh, I guess that's the only thing I can do. I guess I don't have better for myself. I guess this is it. It hurts me when I counsel people, especially over a certain age. Now, don't get me wrong. We should have some level of success and accomplishments at every age that we're at. Children, teenagers, young adults, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? So we already know that. But it hurts me when I counsel people that are over the age of 35, in their 40s, and in their 50s, and in their 60s, and in their 70s, and they still trying to figure it out as if they getting ready to live to 109. And okay, even if you live to 109, show me how many people you know that has lived over the age of 109 that snatched like Vivica Fox or that look like Ania Long. And I'm just throwing names out here because I don't care about really how they look, but I'm just trying to give you a metaphoric example. How many people do you see that's 109? How many people do you know living to 109 that's still getting to the bag and got this and got that? No. See, we play games with time. We think we got all the time in the world. We play around with relationships. We play around with our life. And to me, that is the most scariest thing. And I used to sit in that seat. I used to think that I had all the time in the world. I remember being 15, 16, 17. I can't wait till I'm 21 because I'm going to do this and this and that. I ain't 21 no more. And then you realize time keeps going. It waits for no man. But we play around with time. We play around with destiny. We think we got all the time in the world. Then we get caught by social media because social media says stuff like this or society says stuff like this. Oh, honey, 60s is the new 50s. 50s is the new 40s. Well, regardless if 60 is the new 50 and 50 is the new 40, you still can't lie about your age. You still can't lie about how much time you got on earth. So you may be 60 thinking you 50, but guess what? You still got to get older. You're not aging backwards as much as you want to tell yourself that. Yeah, you could look good and look snatched and, date younger, whatever the case may be. But your time at the door of death, it's coming. Yes, we know that people die sooner than that for various reasons. But I'm talking about those of us that have something in us and we playing with time. We playing with our purpose. We playing with destiny. And I had to check myself. Now, I'm going to make this next statement and you might not like it, but I had to check myself. I said, Jennifer, here you are, a person that claims to have a relationship with God and you playing games. You more dangerous than the person that don't know him. You know why? Because I'm supposed to know better. And I'm not talking about because we're Christians, we have to live this perfect life and we don't have room to be unsure. But guess what? We have the answer. The answer's in the word of God. Now, whether you adhere to it is a different story. I said, ooh, Jennifer, you kind of dangerous because you can go find the answer. That's what you say. You say you can find the answer. You say you read the Bible. You say you have a relationship, but you playing with your life. And then we don't realize how dangerous that is, that we walking around playing with God, playing with our life. Like you just finna have Megan Thee Stallion knees when you 65. You're not. I know y'all want to think that. Because y'all look at the 2 to 3 people we see in social media, the couple of pictures we see on social media, but you forget it's now I think the record shows it's 8 billion people in the world. So you're seeing a very small percentage thinking that that's going to be you. How that's going to be you when you don't go to the gym, when you don't eat right, when you don't take care of yourself, But you think, oh, when I get 60, I'm finna be the new 50. Child, by the time you 60, it's gonna be a new narrative. Because if you in your 30s, by the time you 60, people ain't gonna be saying that no more. They're gonna be like, oh my goodness. It's gonna be something different. Like, yeah, people who 60, they ain't got it all. Now you finna be salty. I'm waiting till these cars go by. Y'all bear with me. I'm outside walking. So see how we get caught up? See, the people that are 60 now, they trying to thrive off of 60's a new 50. But if you're not 60, you can't hold on to that. You don't know what's gonna happen when you 60. So we gotta stop playing with our life. We got to stop playing with our destiny. We got to stop playing with these relationships that we have, whether it's an intimate one, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a business relationship, or whether it's your family. And you guys know I always say, of course, there's so much more that I can talk about. But in this particular life, we're not talking about how other people treat us and how you might need to take a break from other people and how don't let other people suck the life out of you. We're not talking about that. We talking about, when I reference relationships, that if you have good people around you, take advantage of that. If you have people that are willing to support you and people that are willing to love you, take advantage of that. This is something that happened. And I'm sure she won't mind that I mention this. My god sister, I've been knowing her for years. I know that that is rare to find relationships that you can hold on to for years. We don't have to talk every day. But guess what? Anytime she needs me, she know I'm gonna be there. I just know that. She just knows that. But you know, we try to text each other at least once a week or once every other week. Love you, sissy. Thinking about you. Have a good day. Praying for you. Da 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 da. I texted her this morning that I loved her and I hope she had a good day. Because if she's on my mind, I try to make sure I tell her. And she said to me, hey, stay encouraged. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to prosper. And I said, I appreciate that. We don't have to go out to eat every day. We don't have to sit on the phone all day and all night. So I value my relationship with her. I value who she's consistently been in my life. I don't care if she's not perfect and I'm not perfect, because we not. We both make mistakes. We both striving to be better. But I value the relationship, and we out here playing with relationships that we should be valuing. We playing around with people thinking we got all the time in the world because we want to test the waters over here. Oh, the grass ain't greener on this side. And again, this is not just intimate relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. We playing around with people that are kind to us. We don't show gratitude. We don't show honor because we just think this is just how life is. It's not. And when you get out there in that shark water full of blood, you'll see. And when you start to get older and you realize, whoa, things ain't how it was. I thought things were going to be different when I was this age. Now I'm this age. Whoa, I don't have all the time in the world. And like I said, of course, we can analyze, well, there's people that are dying that's young, right? So again, at each age group, we should be having a focus on life, period, point blank. I'm going to head back. We should be having a focus on life based on where we're at. But those of us that are adults, we need to be getting in our purpose. We need to be focused. Not saying that if you're in your teens or if you're in your 20s, that you should not have a focus. You should have a focus based on where you're at. And you should have future goals and a future focus of where you want to be. But I talk to so many people every week that's still trying to figure it out. That's lost. Finances are struggling. Relationships struggling. Mental health struggling. No purpose. Playing around. Thinking your parents is going to live forever. Thinking your friends is going to be there forever. Thinking you got all the time in the world to get it right. Playing around. Then when you get older, whatever that look like, you realize it ain't sweet. I'm getting up out of here, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you, sir. Talk to y'all soon.